Good afternoon, everyone. We're back in the Doucet studios that we made for the week. Today, we're going to talk about the Doucet RT100 robotic tightener, which will be used with our clamp carrier. Quickly, we are going to get first set with a video setting. We're going to look at a video that we made earlier this week to a customer location, which is for Excel in Victoriaville. So we thank him a lot for letting us know the images. Also, after the video, we're going to come back and explain you through details about the clamps. And then during the video or during the session, if you have any question, type your question on the chat room, and then I'm going to be getting the question for you. So let's start with the video and then see you in about 10 minutes. We are looking right now at a complete sequence for the RT100, tightening a couple of small panels through the operation. And you can notice that every time the panel flattener is going down and the tightening tool is engaging. Following the indexation, the robot is starting the on-tightening sequence. Safety feature on the RT100 allow the operator to start the unloading of the clamp carriers, even if the untightening sequence is not fully complete.
So right now we're going to take the time to show you a couple of features on the tightener itself. The first thing is the safety mats. We have them on both sides of the equipment. They are like contact surface, so if they get hit by an operator or an obstacle, it will stop the cycle. We also have option with scanner surfaces that we can install on the top here, so if anything moving in that area, it will also stop the cycle. The other part is the tightening tool, which is tightening, and it's actually installed on a floating axis. So it will always go to the clamp. The precision of the clamping is sized by a rack and pinion rail hidden at that level. And we're going to show an image later. Those three sensors is what locate the tightening tool versus the clamp. So one of them, the two outside are reading the clamp frame. And the third one is reading the nut on the screw. So if the nut gets too low, it will not tie it up. It will create a special cycle to back up the nut before it clamps. We also have the panel flattener. They are pneumatic powered. Here we have the panel flattener style with two lamps, one on each side of the clamp. Depending on the clamp model you have, some of the panel flattener are like only a middle one with two cylinder back to back. So at that point here, I want to show a couple of little features that are very important on the RT100. The first thing is how to stop accurately on each clamp. We have an hydraulic motor making the horizontal movement. It could go at very high speed while moving, but also stop very quickly because of the rack and pinion device on the front end here. And also the carriage road along that V-guide fence, allowing also to be adjusted in height. The other important feature for the cycle being quick is when we do the rotation, instead of having a system where all the front gate move up and back, we only pivoting around that point, making a much quicker cycle while doing the rotation.
The RT100 HMI screen allows you to create spatial mode of clamping sequence. Here in this example, we're going to create a pattern for a 60-inch long panel using about 6 clamps. The clamp number 1 in the sequence is the clamp number 2 that will be tied up at a low pressure setting. Then the second clamp is going to be the clamp number 4 at a low pressure setting. Clamp number 3 is going to be come back to clamp number 1, but this time tied it up at a high pressure level. And then we are asking to tie all the clamps from 2 to 6 at high pressure level to complete the panel.
An important mode is the pose mode. The pose mode is to allow the operator to force a pose on the tightening robot for different reasons. So the way it works is I can say on and off. So let's say I put it to on, it will force a pose, and I need to specific at which clamp I want to do that pause. So today I'm going to plan a pause at clamp number 6. So I just need to enter at which clamp I want to do my pause. So when the tightening robot is going to reach clamp number 6, the system will go into a standby mode. It's going to wait for the operator to start the cycle again. Panel flattener double hit. You can activate this as a special cycle. Why you use this double hit is when you do, let's say, very curvy material, or sometime with when we're doing phase going, it's required to have 2 hits from the panel flattener to make sure as the glue squeeze in, that you're really flattening down the piece to the bottom of the clamp. And the last square is if you want to do a pause before the rotation. So some customers are asking to inspect the pieces that have just been tied up before the clamp carrier index to the next station, allowing a QC control before it rotates. Again, it's just an on and off button there.
In combination with the RT100 HMI screen, you have an operator console which is designed to work in a robust environment, which include glue, dust, or other things in that environment. Starting from the left to right, the first 3 buttons are about manual sequence, like the tightening, the untightening, or the rotation. We have the cleaning cycle, which is designed to clean the screw on the clamp from glue drips. Finally, on the farther right, it's the opening button sequence, where you can program the RT100 to open more than the standard 2-inch every time you untighten. The bottom row of button is for the automatic cycle startup and which kind of clamping sequence you want the operator to be operating. Now we're going to watch a sequence which had been speed up for the video processing, but where we activated all the spatial mode that we looked at earlier on. So we can notice the double hit from the panel flattener every time it tightens up. Then the system's going to stop at the 6th clamp as a pause cycle. Remember that we request a pause to be made at the 6th clamp. Now that we restart the cycle, the clamp's going to restart again and finish the cycle. And as I ask for the quality control inspection, it's going to clamp all the clamp and wait until the operator acknowledges that we can index for the next sequence.
So we are operating a special mode where we have the 2 first clamp tied up at a lower pressure, and then he's doing a full retightening at a full pressure mode. So here we are in a sequence where the operator has placed a clamp extender to do thicker material. So it's just an extender that you can slide in front of the clamp. It allows you to do like thicker material versus the clamp capacity.
Few things in sequence that we're going to see on a different clamp. First of all, the panel flattener with the dual cylinders on the same flattening device. We can see an option which is the loosener that could be working in combination with the RT100 tightener. So you can lose at the same time that you're tightening to save time. And finally, the last option is the laser encoding. So if you want to open your clamp to a specific size, you can program it with a laser encoder. So we are back to live now. The goal of the video was to present a lot of options on the RT100 that people doesn't know about. But essentially, it's to make it work with all the different clamp carriers that we offer. Now, I just want to get you closer to the clamp itself. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is more the standard clamp. We call it the standard model clamp. It has like a full screw all the way across the clamp. And right now I'm showing the 3.5-inch jaw. There's also like smaller jaw available, but that's the full screw. Very commonly used with RT100 or any type of automated system where we can make sure that we can control at all time the opening and do other things like cleaning cycle more oftenly, and you can open more than the 2 inches when you have the full screw. The second clamp that we offer is what we call the rapid change clamp. In that case, you can see they're still having the screw, which is a very short one, with a U-shaped channel, which is will not bend or anything. And you can quickly adjust the size of your clamp by moving that jaw very easily. It's only like and I'm going to swap it around for people, but just notice the jaw is only a one piece made there. And so you can quickly adjust it to size, and the screw will make it that way. The newest clamp that we have, which is available for about the last 2 years, maybe 3, is the wide jaw, what we call the model W because of its width. Previous clamp or the other standard clamp are 5 inches wide. Now we have the 8 inches wide. Reason why you go with the 8 inches is because then at that point we do fixed clamp into a clamp carrier. By doing a fixed clamp, meaning you never have to move the clamp as you're making your panel size. So we place them to about 11 inches center, and you never move them. So we made some time studies through operation like for Excel or other places like we've seen on the video. And at some places, it was up to 20-25% of the time where operator were moving clamp, and sometimes for no reason. So you can get much more efficient by having the fixed clamp, and it's been the clamp that we have selling more. So if you're planning to buy a new clamp carrier, ask us about that clamp because it's much more efficient today in the environmental where you want the operator to be focused on the real thing like QC control and loading only, making sure the wood grain is good. Almost at the end of our 15 minutes, just a quick recap. RT100 is a very flexible platform where you can create your own pattern for recipe. You can adapt different type of clamp on them. You can do either flake gluing, edge gluing. It's flexible enough also where we can integrate the RT100 tool into a fully automated clamp carrier, which is called for us the Alex, and that will be the top picks for tomorrow presentation. Danielle, do we have any other question? No question come out on the chat. So hope I've been made clear. Hope you like our presentation, and hope to see you tomorrow for the part number 2, which will be the Alex, what is still showing behind. So have a nice day. We're going to probably let it run for a few seconds, and just as a teaser for tomorrow. Have a good day.